Hello there, and welcome back to my channel. So today, I'm going to be going over Seed of Chucky. I know, right? It's so controversial, but it's the next chapter in the installment, and I'm going through the series before the TV series Chucky premieres this fall on the Sci-Fi channels on fucking October 12th. It's so close. Anyway, I know that this is kind of a crazy film, but I happen to really appreciate it. Anyway, I really love the fact that Tiffany is back for this one. I love Stitch Face Chucky. The dolls look absolutely amazing. Now, this was the first time that Don Mancini ever directed the film, and even though a lot of people really hate this one, and I did too for a while, I have a lot of good points that I'm so excited to share, because between all of the crazy and all of the obnoxiousness that's going on in this, I recently just watched it, and by recently I mean like 2 hours ago, and this time I had a lot of really good things to say about it, so I'm kind of really appreciative of that. So with all of that being said, let's get right into the very controversial Seed of Chucky. Starting off, I understand that this is not everybody's cup of tea, but maybe this is so much fun to me because of whenever I was younger, I specifically remember my mother, bless her, for renting me this movie because she got me started on horror movies. I'll say that to my day's end. I love my mother. I owe her the fact that she got me started in horror. And one day we were walking down the discount drug mart aisle and I saw the stitched face of Chucky and Tiffany together, and I went, oh, Mom, we have to rent this. And I didn't even know what we were getting into. At this point, I had just watched like Child's Play 2. That was it. That was the only one I had seen. I had seen Child's Play 2 and Seed of Chucky. And then I had learned that there was more, and then I went back into the first and then Bride, and remember how I said that I thought that there was that 4. And then I found out that there was a third one all those years later. Anyway, she rented that movie for me, and I remember going home and watching it, and whenever I was younger, so if this was 2006, I must have been 8. This was terrifying to an 8-year-old. There was so much blood, there was so much gore, there was so much screaming and acting going on, and the sounds, like the score of the movie, is actually really terrifying. So it's just got a lot going on, and when you were a child and you see something like this, especially after seeing the other movies, well, the Child's Play 2, and knowing that Chucky is so terrifying, and seeing that Stitch face, it gave me nightmares. I thought it was disgusting. It really, really bothered me for a while. And watching this movie completely unearthed me from all of these things. But I also have to give it credit because I think that because of Scream 3 and the way that the whole Hollywood aspect going around that movie is, kind of introduced me of this fourth wall breaking, and I really like that sort of concept. So when we're getting to this, I liked Chucky in this setting. I also like the fact that this is like the 5th movie we're talking about here, and every single time Chucky has done something different. I really like that. They don't ever repeat, and so I know this is not everybody's favorite, but I really like this installment because of that. Even though it's not the greatest film, and I used to hate it for a really long time, remember I said that because of the whatever, I'm trying to really get back to, and I do honestly feel like my childhood self whenever I thought that, oh my god, like this is just disturbing. And I think that that's the one thing that everybody can agree about on this film. Even if they don't like it, and even if they do like it, they can agree on the fact that it's fucking disturbing. Another reason why I like this movie, and I've said this in the last one, is because of Jennifer Tilly. And so I said that we were picking up from the last one of Bride of Chucky in the graveyard when she has that child. And he makes his way purposely to try to find his parents. And I know that the Glenn character is very, very, very controversial, and I used to think very, very ugly whenever I was younger, and I still don't think that he's like good looking at all now, but there's parts of me that doesn't reject this movie like I did for a while. I grew up with it, not seeing any problems. Then I got a little older, got a little wiser, learned more about film, got into hanging out with people who understood things about things like that, and now that I was in the horror community, I will be honest, I've been on these pages like Killer Flicks and whatever for the past 2 years and such, and it was the first time I'd ever known or heard about the fact that people had a problem with this movie. I didn't know people hated it, and when I found out they did, I felt really ashamed, and then I totally was awakened to all of the crazy fucking weird parts about this movie, and it ruined it for me for a while. And I hate that I let other people and strangers whom I don't know control what my life should be like and how my experience should be. Everything is different for everybody for a reason, and I'm sorry if it doesn't work for you, but I'm not gonna let that take away from me. I get that it's cheesy, I get that it's campy, but it's fun. I just put it on earlier and I had no shame for it, even though I showed it to my boyfriend about a month ago, and he said, that was cool, I liked it, but I don't really care for it. And I was like, whatever, because this is something that I enjoy. I will never, it's hard for me to hate films, you know, so I'll never not enjoy a Chucky movie because they've always done a really good job at them. And the Tiffany character, she's everything. And the Glenn character, I'm circling back to that, I know now. I'm all over the place with this video, but just like the movie, I'm all over the place. So whenever I was younger, I really appreciated the Glenn character. I think that it's just ignorant to say that you don't like this film because this confuses you, or it's uncomfortable, it's weird, or it's gross, or it's grotesque, or it just doesn't fit in the horror for you, or whatever. I don't know. It just sounds ignorant to me, and I'm not gonna apologize for that at all, because the reason that it means something is because whenever I was younger, I absolutely identified with this. Both of my parents were very, very hard for me to grow up with, and they were all over the place, and they had their own addictions and their own struggles, and it was a very, very hard childhood for me. So growing up, I was just like Glenn. I didn't want to be like my murderous parents. They weren't murderous, they were aggressive. I always was like thinking about the fact that he was trying to break this whole cycle, and he never wanted to be. It was in his core to not be evil. And then I know that it's really uncomfortable for a lot of people, and it's really weird, or you think that it's out of nowhere, but that's because you don't understand these things, or it doesn't apply to you, which is kind of sad. Because for me, I was 8 years old, and I didn't know how to navigate life, and all I ever watched was horror movies, so how was I supposed to understand anything? And out of nowhere, here was this horror movie, and here was this character struggling through all of this shit. Am I a boy or am I a girl? And I know that it's stupid and off topic, and I should be talking about my YouTube channel and this horror movie because of the things I was going through, because of my struggles, because of my sexuality. I didn't know any of that. My sexuality was forced on me as a child. People sexualized me as a child, just like they're doing to Glenn in this movie. And I had no idea anything about sex. I was so pure and so innocent. So when people were putting their insecurities and their projections about how they can't live their lives on me, a child, it made me very, very sad and hard. I didn't know how to identify or where to be in life. And here I can live my life now and understand that I'm proudly able to identify. As soon as you start judging someone else's for something else, you can't ask to be respected. And I know that that sounds ridiculous and like I'm being unpoliticky, but it's kind of applying to Glenn, where he gets to the breaking point, and at the end he says, what about what I want? What about what I need? And I know that this is supposed to be a spoofy, campy film that's kicked up to 150% because Bride of Chucky was 100%, and right now we're in full-on comedy mode. But oh my god, it really affected me as a child. All of those lessons meant something to me. Him fighting for his identity meant something to me. And I appreciate Don Mancini for that. To other people at my film school when I was in it, and they were like, you like Scream? You're terrible. You like Chucky? You're terrible. You've never seen The Godfather? You're terrible. And I'm just really sick of movie shaming. So, you know what? I've never seen a good review of Seed of Chucky, so that's what I'm doing here. Because we're all aware of the flaws. We all understand the things that aren't the greatest about it, but even some of those things work for me. They're campy, they're comedy, they're fun. Oh my goodness, Jennifer Tilly, I've got to get back on that. I absolutely love the look of this one, the design, the aspect, her hair, her dress, everything. She looks so good, she does so good, and that's one of the reasons maybe why I like this film so much. I, someone who's an adult now that's studied this film and seen it a bunch of times since I was younger, have been able to look at it through a different light because of this aspect now, and thinking about all of the ways that it's actually really brilliant because of the nods that it does to the other chapters in the other movies. When they set this in Hollywood and they really set up the characters, you're like, I'm interested in this, I need to know about this. It's so crazy to me because when I look at the Hollywood aspect, I've been on these stages, I've been on these film places, I've filmed where they have filmed. So the fact that she's here and she's in love with Jennifer Tilly and that Jennifer Tilly gets to play herself, that's amazing. She's got the most screen time in this one as a physical person and as a doll. This is Jennifer Tilly's movie. This is Tiffany's movie. And I love her. She's one of my favorite characters. So it just makes this content and this amount of scenes with her really, really great for me because I like hanging out with her. I love Tiffany. She's my favorite part of the franchise, and I've talked about that in Bride of Chucky. Well, with all of that being said, that was my controversial review of Seed of Chucky, but I do have fun with this one, and I hope you guys do too, even if you hate it. Let me know how you feel down in the comments. Try to be as polite as possible, even if it's not your cup of tea, because kindness is... whatever, just fucking be kind. This is my Chucky box set franchise, and I am really, really happy to have it. I moved out here and I saw this at Best Buy and I got them and I rewatched the franchise and I remembered Chucky is a part of my life, my childhood, my horror growth. I'm a very big fan of this. If you can add it to your collection, please do. Do it for me. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a great time with my video and all of my thoughts. Be sure to check out some of my other videos. I've done a bunch of different genres and I plan to do a bunch more. I cannot wait to get into Curse of Chucky. And thank you so much for watching all of these videos. I love the Chucky series and I hope you keep watching till the end because I'm leading right up to the Chucky series in this October 12th. So let me know what you think about the TV series in the comments. Let me know what you think about the franchise, this installment, all of the other good stuff that I've mentioned before. Like I said, check out my videos, check out the lives, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you the next time. Alright, bye!
I just love this movie, don't you?